Thomann is completing 70 years of existence and lots of limited deals are popping up every month. Today we take a look at the limited version of the Warm Audio Foxy Tone Box. Is it any good? Let's find it out! Welcome back budget tone chasers to one more full review. Today we talk about this pretty peculiar piece of gear, the Foxy Tone Box, produced by Warm Audio. Warm Audio is an American producer which found their niche on bringing back old original circuits on modern versions. The differential appeal of their products is the similarity with the correlated vintage version of their products, like we can see in this specific case for the Foxy Tone Box, but also on the Centavo clone or on the Jet Phaser. They are not a budget pedal brand, but for some of their products, it gets kind of budget-ish when you find good deals, like is the case now of Thomann's 7th anniversary, in which they are offering limited time deals and exclusive limited editions of products. If you want to find out the best budget offers of Thomann's anniversary, you can check out our new purchase center. There you'll find the best budget offers on several marketplaces like Amazon, AliExpress and even Thomann. The link is in the description. So let's cut the chit chat and let's talk about the Foxy Tone Box. This pedal is a revival of the classical 70s FOXX Tone Machine, a fuzz pedal which allows the engagement of the octave function. It got famous by being the fuzz of choice for Peter Frampton, Billy Gibbons and Adrian Belew. The 70s was a bountiful time for analog effects pedals. Among the great fuzz boxes of the era, the FOXX Tone Machine stands proudly as one of the most expressive and more extreme. It used 4 transistors and had a very effective octave up sound, which by the way, had the misspelling on the original control panel, engraved as Octave. Seems like the Chineses are not the only ones who saved some bucks on the revision of the product, yeah? The octave function was activated by the toggle switch on the pedal side. At the time, it was taken as a major bonus compared to the many other Octave and Octafuzz's units on the market. Dave Hunter from Guitar Player describes it as a thick, texturized, gnarly fuzz, but the versatile mellow bright tone control takes it from warm and gooey to bright and razor-like. Also he raises that the tone knob gives the tone machine much more range than most 2-knob fuzzes, and even outperforms many others with the tone knobs. And what about the Foxy Tone Box? Well, Warm Audio claims to be a 1-to-1 high-fidelity version of the FOXX Tone Machine. Initially they released it only on the orange velvet flocking, but now, together with Thomann's anniversary campaign, a new version just came out, the purple velvet flocking. The pedal looks pretty similar to its inspiration model, on a robust metal casing closed by screws on 4 plastic feet. The pedal is fully covered in velvet and the knobs are placed on the front face of the pedal, instead of being on top. We'll talk a little bit later about this form factor and its pros and cons. The foot switch stands alone on the top of the pedal, and I need to admit that I have never seen such a cheap foot switch like this one, since the Mini Universe. Actually, I believe they are the same. I'll give the benefit of the doubt and remember that it can be a one-time case that happened specifically on this piece I have bought, but if it is really a standard of production, it is a big flaw for its price range. In terms of quality of the knobs and the toggle switch, they are simply perfect. The input and output jacks are on the opposite side of the knobs, as well as the LED. Talking about its controls, it has a pretty interesting setting logic. The first knob controls the volume, which mutes the pedal when it's on minimum. The sustain knob works like the muff one, increasing the amount of grit on the sound and consequently the sustain. The last knob is the fuzz mellow bright, which is basically a tone control. The toggle is pretty straightforward. You can engage the octave up by changing it to on. It has the possibility to operate with a 9-volt battery, but you need to unscrew the back plate of it, removing the rubber feet. Before adding my comments on its pros and cons, let's listen a little bit how it sounds like. Let's start with a humbucker pickup. Now let's listen to the single coil tones. It's time to start talking about the pros of this pedal and to whom I believe it will fit perfectly. The sound is simply unique. It's clear why the FOXX machine was a different kind of animal and why its voicing was considered as a one-of-a-kind. The Foxy Tone Box delivers a unique sound, with huge versatility of adjustments independent if you are playing in humbuckers or in single coils. The Octave function is awesome and in some cases even reminds me of a whammy, as it has such a huge amount of sustain. Talking about sustain, it could be able to sustain a single note for minutes with this thing. It is absolutely unbelievable how punchy it is. I am not a guitar slide enthusiast, but it fits really nice to this application due to its huge sustain and the different tones you could get with the Octave turned on. Of course, if you are not a fuzz tone fan, this probably is going to be the final shovel of dirt. But now, it's time to talk about the cons. It's awesome that Warm Audio did such a beautiful clone of FOXX Tone Machine, but it's simply a disaster that they copied all the functional defects it could carry in it. Let's start talking about the position of the knobs. How could I be able to see the setting you have in a live situation? Or you would need to place it on top of your amp, or there is no way you would be able to understand how your knobs are set. Worse than that, how could you attach it to your pedal board with 4 rubber feet? And velvet all over it? Not enough? The input and output jacks are in reverse position, creating your patch cables to be crossed. What about the LED? If it's down on your pedal board, no way to see it. If it's on top of your amp, also no way to see it, because it's behind the pedal. So when you accept that if you want to take this piece of gear with you on your live rig, even if you needed to place it probably outside of your pedal board, and probably in a creative position to be able to see how the knob settings look like, taking care to do not destroy this cheap noisy foot switch, you discover that it works in 1.5 amperes, so probably there's no shared power supply that would fit it. Okay, Warm Audio at least sends its own power supply together with the product, but come on, there goes one more energy plug on top of the stage. I think you could get what I mean, eh? Pedals are not produced anymore on this form factor for one reason: they are not practical. If you're planning on running it on top of your record desk, perfect. If you intend to put it on your live gear, be prepared to suffer. It's almost like trying to dress a pineapple with soccer socks. And what about the price ranges? The original version of the Foxy Tone Box currently goes by the price of 160 euros at Thomann and $150 at Amazon.com. Not that affordable if you think about the price ranges of the budget pedal market. But, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the limited edition made for Thomann's anniversary are not only made in a different color, but also with special price of 130 euros, which brings it back to a more budget-ish range. My final thoughts on this pedal? It's definitely not occupying space in any of my boards, but I'm pretty confident that for creative purposes it could be a really interesting piece of gear, especially for outdoor productions. Anyway, it's really nice to have a limited edition piece of gear that in the future can become a collectible one. Now it is your time. Let me know your opinion in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if this content was helpful to you somehow, and take a look at our Purchase Center website. I'm pretty sure you'll find amazing offers there, and it's always good to save some bucks. I'll leave here my review for the Joyo Hot Witch, as maybe you could be interested on discovering an amazing big muff style pedal. I'll catch you on the next, keep on rocking,